Awesome. Okay, thank you all so much again for being here. So we're going to start the recording now. If at any time you have any questions, you're welcome to read them and or I write them, I should say, and I'll read them anonymously at this point. And then when we come off the recording, I'll read your names again. So what's it? I'm upstate, but looking for a new change in direction. Yes, I totally welcome new change in direction. I think that's all what we deserve. I don't know if you could hear that street noise. That's pretty funny. Okay. So we're here today to talk about the Pisces full moon. This Pisces full moon is a really interesting gateway, and I tried to kind of make that a part of this session, but it is also, so it's there and it's in the work as well, but I'm going to try and kind of enumerate everything that's going on as much as I possibly can. And if you feel again that there's anything missing, you're welcome to ask me. But this Pisces full moon is also coming in tandem, what I'll say to start with, actually a numerological gateway. And I'm a huge fan of numerology. We've done our numerological circles. If I had the schedule available, I would do every numerological gateway. And we will be meeting for 11/11 because I found that that was a very powerful opportunity for growth. So definitely something to keep in mind, I think, which is that we're also working with the numbers tomorrow. You might be saying, what are you talking about? Well, tomorrow is 9/9. So, numerology itself, of course, is this kind of system of finding patterns with numbers and kind of another way of divining wisdom. So when we're working with 9, as we will be tomorrow, and we're moving into this Pisces full moon gateway, what's really kind of amazing is that tomorrow being 9/9 it's actually a very powerful kind of upgrade, activation, and moment of completion. There is maybe potentially not a final ending here because there's also the number 10, but it is the end of a cycle from 1 to 9. And so this is a great moment kind of in the way we count our days to look at and examine and recognize the ebb and flow of our lives and the way that we can start to close some of these cycles that are not worth our energy, not worth our time. How can we engage meaningfully and feel rewarded without feeling that, we are also exhausted in a way. We're exhausted by the work that we've chosen. So something to keep in mind, this is a great time of endings as these gateways are opening up. And this is a great time to put things to rest. So if there's stuff that's being shaken up for you right now in this Pisces full moon, allow it to be shaken up because it might actually be that things are asking right now to be over for once and for all. For those of you who follow me on Instagram, you might remember I went to this unbelievable concert, and I found for myself that these kind of circular thoughts that I experience frequently, and I think we all have our own circular thoughts, they just disappeared. And I was amazed because I didn't even think that would be possible. And yet it was, and it happened. And, I think that is the kind of ending that I think we all should be open to gravitating towards and deserve. And it's the ending of basically 9/9. So we'll see if that in any way figures in as we continue through our sessions. But really, we're here to talk about the fact that it is the Pisces full moon. Pisces is a water sign, and it's the last constellation of the zodiac. Again, those endings, right? We are at the end of the zodiac cycle here, or at least through the full moon zodiac cycle. It is represented by the fish. So we're kind of thinking about these really ancient beings that are living in the water. And as it's kind of this watery sign that is ruled by sort of one of the, kind of main associations with water, a real kind of face of water, we are really working deeply with the connections between fantasy and reality. We are working with the energy that is psychic, that is empathetic, that is compassionate. And we're also feeling our sensitivities more than ever. Pisces can sometimes, be defined by being swallowed by emotions and needing a bit of grounding. So how perfect then that we're working with Pisces energy during Virgo season. This isn't going to be at all really an earthly meditation, but it's a reminder that if we're working with the water and we're working with the emotional, that we're doing so to kind of come more into balance with everything else and to kind of our consciousness as it is in the present, in the grounded space. So talking a little bit about Pisces as it is Pisces in this full moon on Saturday, or today, as we're working with it today. I think that a lot of this work with watery energy and Pisces and the full moon, which is also, moon is watery, and the moon controls the waters, controls the ocean. So as we're working with the fish, we're working with the ocean, and we're working with the moon, and they're all kind of meeting harmoniously into a very gentle, very kind of soft, and again, emotional space. And because of that, it might mean that communication, as I feel like I'm experiencing trying to share today, can be kind of hidden and foggy and like just beyond words. And it's in part because the wisdom that comes from psychic intuition, which is really at the heart of all magic, right, is that you're the seer and that you are kind of seeing in an esoteric, a hermetically sealed, secretive way, right? So as you are working with this energy of opening up your psychic seeing, you're really working at the intuitive level and not necessarily at the language level, not necessarily at the everyday, but even not at, like, it's sort of concepts I feel like come over us. And I think that because of that, this Pisces full moon is thematically offering us a chance to feel and to listen, because there's all of this with Pisces full moon. There's 9/9. Mercury retrograde is also happening on, I believe it's actually also happening tomorrow on 9/9, if not on the 10th, or I think it's between then. And so there's going to be a lot in this retrograde season that is out of our control, that invites us to feel kind of confused and unsettled. And it's happening at that very subtle, intuitive level of basically trying to kind of understand things with our logical minds, but we're actually feeling them with like our heart minds in a way, and feeling them as these kind of conceptual, subtle things. And so if you're feeling out of sorts, release control, release the need to fully understand everything that's going on. This is about going with the flow, right? Surfing the waves, and doing so for yourself, first and foremost, for your needs, first and foremost. I think what is most important is that, we don't have to know or have the tangible answer to what it is we need. We can just simply give ourselves permission to feel and to understand why we feel. Potentially that's old wounds or past issues. But we come to understand that, and we come to understand as well that it's time to surrender. And, to kind of, as the warrior wisdom, my medicine name that was given to me is Leia Precious Thunder Warrior. And I got it from being an apprentice. And the warrior wisdom, which I sort of always, when the time is right, I feel is worth sharing, is that we don't simply fight every battle. Instead, we surrender and we allow, and we see what in us is getting triggered by what's happening. And we also see the full picture, because some battles are worth fighting and you need to defend yourself, but some maybe both parties are, or all parties involved aren't coming in with malicious intent. And we have to kind of like pick up the pieces and best understand, why are we carrying this emotion around with us? And does it come from another place? Beyond that, I think, I guess what I would actually say is all of this to say that I think that warrior wisdom is very much in tune with Pisces full moon wisdom. And I think that all of us here are practitioners and very powerful. I feel like I can feel your energy from here. And I know that we're all carrying with us the ability to walk between worlds. And allow this to be your reminder that your power is your own and it doesn't have to be given away. But you also don't have to suffer if you can avoid it and you can do the work. And you don't deserve to suffer. And I think that's the other heart, is you don't deserve to suffer. And so we can take this time to allow ourselves ease. And what's really exciting is this Pisces full moon is allowing for the emotional ease that we all deserve. And at the same time, it's also a thinning of the veil in which we are moving and connecting to our spirit guides more strongly than ever before. So if that's something that's of interest to you, today is the day to reach out and see who you can connect with. Someone says, oh, I thought retrograde started today. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, no worries, no problem. Finally, speaking of, we were talking about kind of feeling like we're in conflict right now. So I'll just share that Mars is causing a little bit of trouble for us. So bring some patience to the fact that the planet of action and of energy is being activated and could trigger us to feel even more vulnerable and sensitive and potentially moody, because sometimes Mars, not always, can be erratic and a little hasty. And so be mindful if you find yourself kind of, jumping when you don't need to. And allow for that Pisces energy to look at that kind of fiery hastiness that's also being triggered, and allow that to just be, to move and to cleanse and everything. Perfect. So I think that's everything we need from an astrological standpoint. We will be moving with this full moon today. And just to share a little bit about what we're doing today, there's basically our agenda is that we will do 2 meditations. The first will be kind of a calming, relaxed moment, and will allow us to just kind of heal, because I think we all need that. Not that I'm saying that, not trying to say it in an offensive way, mostly just trying to say, I know that I often feel like I don't make time for myself to heal, and I wish I'd made more time for it. So if you feel that way as well, in any sense of the word, now is a great time to make some time for yourself and to kind of check in, right, with everything that you're dealing with. And beyond that, I think what it will be super helpful, or no, beyond that, what we will be doing is we will be doing a group Reiki healing. So I will send Reiki to you and you can kind of just receive that. And then we'll end. Then we'll have a little break, because I think breaks are important and it's really hard to do 2 meditations back to back. So that's about 5 minutes. And then we'll go into the second meditation. And the second meditation will be, I like to call it a ceremony, but you might also just allow it to be a connection to the spirits, and allow it to be kind of just an allowance for like deep spirit work to happen. Today we'll be doing soul retrieval during our ceremony time. For those who aren't familiar, that is basically going wherever you need to go on your path, whether that's fears of the future or the past, and just kind of trying to pull yourself back into center. And so we'll be doing that soul retrieval together with the deity Marduk. Marduk is someone who I want to speak about all the time, but often find myself speaking about everyone else who's also very important. But I'll just share a little bit about Marduk, and then we are running out of time and it's time to move on. Marduk was considered the patron deity of Babylon. You can also call in Neptune if you'd like, and you're welcome to, or really call in anyone. I'll be calling in Hecate and Artemis, Diana, and, you know, if for example, bringing these deities forward feels like uncomfortable in a way, you know, I invite you to think about why. I think that you know, it's always okay to avoid something that's uncomfortable, but it's also okay to think about what about this energy is actually, you know, not sitting right with me, and why is it not sitting right with me? So, you know, work with whatever you feel called to, and if you want to kind of take on that extra task today, go for it. But Marduk is who we'll be working with, and Marduk was considered to be like, he's the king of Babylon. He's connected to the sun, he's connected to Jupiter, he's connected to Saturn, and he's also connected to the ocean. So perhaps by proxy, he's also connected in a way to Neptune as well. He, just like my patron deity, Ninurta is a very old deity coming from the Sumerian time. And he was like one of the first in a way. So I've shown this many times, but this depiction of Ninurta can also be considered Marduk. So they're in many ways considered the same deity. So Marduk encompasses so much more. And so Marduk is justice. He's creation, he's agriculture, he's medicine, he's magic, and he's the waters. So he really, I think, I couldn't think of a better person to call, really. I literally could not think of someone better to call during a Pisces full moon to allow us to do the magic, to allow us to welcome in the medicine, and to work deeply with those waters. Marduk, he's a magician, and he's also a healer. So welcome in that thunderous healing if you feel like it would be of use to you. Someone says, that's beautiful. I mean, I think so too. I think, and lots of hearts. Yes, I think so too. I think so too. I think it's kind of amazing how it all comes together. And I always love to see it myself. Some folks on Facebook are saying, thank you so much for your time, and thank you. No problem. I'm happy I can answer any and all questions. Okay, so without further ado, let's see. I think I have shared everything I need to share. Yeah, without any other questions, let's go ahead and get the music started for our first meditation, and we'll begin. Oh, yes, and today I have with me my Pisces oil and my full moon oil. These are available on Etsy if you're curious. And I'll be kind of anointing you energetically, but now's the right time, if you haven't yet, to make sure all your tools are around you. Make sure your candle's lit. And I'll just give it like 20 more seconds and then we'll begin. Okay. All right, everyone. We're going to begin with the breath together, allowing the breath to come naturally to us as it is. sitting naturally in our chest. We're now going to move into a guided breath. When I tell you, we will begin by breathing in the count of 9, and then breathing out to the count of 9. Beginning now, breathing in 9, and breathing out 9. Breathing in 9. And breathing out 9. Breathing in 9. Breathing out 9. And before we begin this next breath, I will be guiding you now that as we breathe in for this final breath together, we'll breathe in super deeply from the bottom of our feet all the way up to our head, really filling our stomach. And then when I guide you again to breathe out, we'll really let it all come out. All right, together, breathing in as one deeply, 9. Breathing out 9. Okay. And let's take a moment now to be with the body, the vessel that holds our waters. Great work, everyone. Taking time to go in and to just begin a reflection upon our reflection, in a way, on the way in which the waters in our body are held. And as we're witnessing, we're also releasing the feet, the knees, the hips, the lower half of the body. Releasing in the stomach. Releasing in the chest. In the heart space. Releasing in the shoulders, in the neck, in the back of the neck. And releasing as well the head, the mind, the brain, the crown, the forehead. As we come now into a deeply comfortable position in our chair or laying down. We allow ourselves now a moment of true and deep and pure surrender. Surrendering to yourself, surrendering to the spirits. We allow ourselves to untie and release our burdens. Releasing the burdens of our self-reflections, releasing the burdens of our cyclical feelings, cyclical thoughts. Remembering that you are always working to be your best self. And know this, and know that you are deserving of love. Taking this moment to sit with the power of you. We are here together under this full moon with the magic of the self, the magic of the spirits. And now, just as the full moon moves us, may we also allow for the moon to move our waters and to heal us. And we are beginning to imagine, either through a vision within or simply through the listening of these words, that we are in a pool of water below a waterfall. The waters are raining down around us. And we are resting now. The light of the full moon casting rays through the fog. The stars twinkling above us. And we are in rest in these sacred pools meant only for us. And as we are in the waters, we feel now that our energy is detaching from us. Everything that we are holding on to tightly. It is time to release our grip. We are releasing, releasing, releasing. Letting circular thinking release. Letting other people release. Letting fears of ourselves, our voice, the way in which we're seen, letting it all release. To all be taken away by the water surrounding our skin, surrounding and relaxing our muscles, flowing over us and flowing through us. The waters of the waterfall, the rains of the waterfall and of the pool that we are in are soft, gently covering us, matching that which is within to that which is without. And as the waters move around us, we feel now that we are shifting. As the waters are calling to us, they are calling to the self whose ancestors go so deeply far back, calling to the self whose ancestors are not only human, but also the animals, calling to the self whose ancestors were the first fish that populated the great oceans. We are shape-shifting and we are transforming. And we are becoming new creatures. Breathing through this transformation, we see what kind of fish we are, whether we are small or large. And we notice the colors of our scales, whether we are incandescent and as we are shifting into this fish ancestral self, our minds, our consciousness is shifting as well. We are becoming like our fish-brained ancestors. We are becoming like creatures whose eyes are able to see all surroundings. The way in which we breathe changes, and the way in which we move changes. And as these fish, we live simply, our complexity having no words, but only feelings and intuitions and notions. And our human thoughts are becoming still, becoming quiet. And eventually our human thoughts go completely silent. We are allowing now for a pureness of self through the spine and the consciousness, a paring down of all of our cares in favor of this new way of being. We are simply floating along with the waters, understanding some memory, some responses to things like pain, and some lessons from the past. The rest all in the unspoken language of the fish and the waters and the moon. And from this fishy self, we now allow the vessel's consciousness to focus in on our foreheads and crown. We may look up into the forehead to move deeply with the third eye and crown, feeling awakenings through this fish self, listening now. And if you would like, you can place your hands on any part of your body, your heart or your stomach, or the back of your neck. As we invite anything deeper than the surface level of our fish consciousness to pass up and out of us to the surface of these waters, to be rained on by this waterfall and carried away by the tides, pulled by the magnetic energy of the moon, as I will now send you Reiki. Beginning with a bit of a plant cleanse here. We invite in spraying sacred waters, to cleanse you, Honoring sacred turkey today. Offering sacred medicinal perfumes as well. Anointing you first with our moon magic oil. Smelling strongly of lemon, rosewood, musk, lavender, and jasmine. Anointing you as well with Pisces. Calling in your watery energy, your fishy energy, the beauty of your scales, your ability to go with the flow. Blessing you now with a sacred quartz sphere filled with rainbows. I'm not sure how clear it is, but there's rainbows everywhere here. Blessing you today with blue rose quartz, generating heart healing that is also expressed fully, generating gentleness, generating that psychic third eye opening. Generating heart healing. Bringing in clarity and power through lapis lazuli, one of the most ancient of allies. Pulling now anything that you would like offered, that you would like to offer me to remove. My tools decided not to come today, so I will be using my hands, my Reiki hands. Pull that which doesn't serve you. Pull out little strands. To send you healing where you need it. I want to ask for fear and self-doubt to be removed. May it be taken from you. Past. Seeing hearts, sending those hearts right back. Now reworking, sewing you up, reweaving spider energy with the fish. Reweaving your reality with sodalite. Knitting you together. Finally, blessing you with a little bit of labradorite, fishy, and frog energy. From now until infinity, 999999, everything is ending, everything is being reborn, everything is transforming for our highest and our best good, for our highest and best emotional self. Everything that we do not need ends tonight. Everything else is reborn. Fluff up your aura now as we come to the close of this Reiki ceremony. We allow in this pool that we have found our rest to be bathed and to be cleansed lovingly. We are so gently held, so preciously held, with deep, peaceful love. Surrounded by medicinal waters that are perfumed. We find ourselves continuing to be directly rained on by this waterfall. The shining water sparkling, glowing, radiating like liquid mercury or gold. We allow now for these waters to carry us out from this pool, down through the pathways of rivers and streams, traveling and traveling and traveling, until we find ourselves in the ocean, a fish in the endlessness of the waters of the world, held by the wordlessness of reality. Everything soft and permeable. The ocean is infinite. The earth beneath, the sky above, and ocean around us, and at center, and in our hearts, always. We move with the unending waters to the end of this meditation, and we will begin our 5-minute break now. Yes, I thank you to my production director for posting. If you would like to leave a donation for this, you're welcome to do so. I see some folks in the chat on Facebook. Someone says, Grand Rising, I'm late, but I made it. Yay. Someone says hi with lots of hearts, lots of sparkles. Someone else says hi. Lots more hearts. Someone says blessings with pray hands. Someone else says, thank you so much. I feel great. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here, being a part of the session. But yes, if you're able to donate, it's always appreciated as we keep the space going, get the work done. And it's not linked yet on my website, but it is on my link tree. You're also welcome to check out the anointing oils that I've created for astrological signs and for the moon and for a few other things like love, etc. Really anything you need an oil for. The Etsy will be updated, but for now it's just the products are available. And of course, if you like my work, you're welcome to stay in touch by connecting with me for my Muklu Magic series, which is specifically about Babylonian wisdom, witchcraft, ritual, and healing, shadow work, medicine work, all of the above. Perfect. Okay, let's go ahead and change the music, please. Great work, everyone. I love to see you all here. I love to share in this space with you. Oh, someone says, oils rule. Happy to be here. Yay. Lots of hearts and rainbows. I love that. I'm into that. I love oils too. Yeah, I will link the Etsy as well if I'm able to. Perfect. Take a final minute here to get situated again. If you need to get your glass of water or finish your glass of water, now's the time. Oh, let me share these links on Facebook as well, really quickly. Perfect. Okay. So everyone, let's get back into space together. We'll take some time now to move into our ceremony. I'll begin with the prayers, and then we'll move into the breath. Okay. Perfect. Coming together now, we call in as one group, one entity across space and across time. For those who are watching on different platforms, watching in the future, watching in the now, we together come in council and harmony for this full moon in Pisces. Together, we call in the 7 directions, the great north, the place of the ancestors, we bow. The great east, the place of new beginnings, we bow. The great south, the place of the fire and passion of life, we bow. And the west, the place of endings, in this full moon in Pisces at the end of the zodiac, coming in harmony with 9/9, we bow to the west. To the great below, to Mother Gaia, Pachamama, Ninhursag, Hathor, we bow to the great earth and to all living beings on this earth, to the land in which we are guests, to the ancestral lands, we bow. And to the great above, to great Father Uranus, universe, sky, Father stars, we bow. Into the heart at center, we bow. Calling now to your allies, to your guides, calling to your ancestors, those in their wellness, as well as those grandmothers, grandfathers, grandpeople, grandparents who stand in attendance of you. Calling in your animals, any cats, dogs, reptiles, fish, crocodiles, snakes, deer, cows, birds, songbirds, raptors. I'm calling as well upon any of your little people, your fairies, your elves, your dwarves, your gnomes, your Anunnaki, your star people, your jinn. Calling now upon your deities, your gods, goddesses. I call upon as well my power beings, my lions, my leopards, my wolves, my coyotes, my jackals. I call upon the healing of my ancestors, and I call upon my patron deity, Abu Ninurta, the great thunder warrior, carrier of the great mace Sharur, slayer of the Anzu bird, and protector of the tablets of destiny and fate. Call upon Great Mother Ishtar, the great Venus in her golden armor, the warrior goddess of love, of war, the keeper of the Halupu tree, the one who walks between worlds, the rebirth goddess of the spring and fall equinoxes, wife of Dumuzi, wife of the Bull of Heaven, or sister, I should say, to the Bull of Heaven. And Allah al-Kareem. Ameen. Finally, I call in the great and mighty Marduk and offer my prayer. O eternal ruler, Lord of everything that exists, grant that our names may flourish as seems good to you. Guide us on the right path, for thou didst create us, and thou hast entrusted us to rule over everything. According to your mercy, grant to us whatever seems good to thee, and since thou hast created my life, cause the knowledge of your divinity to exist within us. Great Marduk, Almighty Prince, who has created us, like our precious lives, we love your lofty appearance, for you are King and Restorer, who makes the heart glad. We honor you, and we honor your son Nabu, Mercury, in this time of Virgo season, bearer of the tablets of fate, those that Ninurta saved. May your favors be proclaimed to us. We are by thy command. May the houses, the homes that we have built under you stand forever. Together, let us return to our breath as we now come to return to the ocean that we previously floated in. We'll take a few deep breaths here, breathing in 9. Breathing out 9. We'll do 2 more here, 9. And 9. Final breath, breathing in deeply, allowing the breath to move through the body. 9. And 9. Let us take time now to feel the familiar weight of the waters, of the cleansing, and of the gentleness. And in this ocean, we see the full moon above us as an abyss, a pool of infinite life. Our guides are around us, and they are inviting us downwards now to take a moment and to detach from this reality, disconnecting from self and floating down, down, as if carried by the softest of winds. Our psychic vision expands as we move downwards, and we see that we are being guided to travel towards a city under the sea. a sprawling city, a grand vision of stone buildings, of ancient innovation, and of creatures beyond this world. An Atlantis built just for us, a city of many beings, many of whom are a part of our tribe. Many who are simply part of the tribes of the waters. May we travel these city streets and make our way to the city center now. Where we can see a temple of sapphire and lapis, and of healing under the full moon in Pisces. May we take in its architecture, its spires, and its stained glass windows, full of towers and grand heights. This place that was meant just for you. You enter the grand gates now, seeing the waters that are trapped and hydro within these sapphired walls. Coming to the chamber meant just for you, decorated with the tapestries of your story, of your spirit, surrounded by your allies. And as you enter, you also see Marduk, the great water king, the king of magic and of medicine and of thunder and of this ocean domain. Marduk and your guides now invite you to lay before them at the center of an oceanic altar with you as the locus. This altar on the floor, decorated by many things, surrounding you in symbols and fluorescent crystals and shells and the bones of creatures who lived in these ancient lands. And as you lay upon this altar, it illuminates completely and comes alive, opening you to the magic of the full moon in Pisces in your temple, with the harmony of 9/9, with the subtle frequencies of the magic of the waters. Marduk comes to you now and offers you a message meant just for you. A message of the waters and of the full moon and of our emotions and of our story. And he places his hand on your shoulder or your heart or your back, whatever is a safe touch. And with his divine, godlike, psychic eyes, he beams knowledge into your third eye, sending your visions and energetic upgrades, inviting you to divinely trust the process. Marduk now reaches into your heart and gently pulls it from your chest with no pain, simply removing gently. And in his hands is a flower, the flower of you. And in this flower, he explains to you the places that are rich and full of power, the beauty of the petals, the peace laying in the dust of the stamen, of the pollen, the color of the vibrance that is the happiness in the heart of you. And he also shows you now the sickly parts and the dried and wilting areas, the parts where the color has changed and is no longer itself. And as you are witnessing this part of your heart, you are reminded that cycles begin and cycles end. That you do not have to die to be reborn. That instead, you may allow yourself to stop resisting and holding on to the hurts of your memories. for that which is vulnerable, for that which is wilting. Allow yourself as this flowered heart to embrace the unknown, the life that continues as an integration of both these bright and beautiful petals and these dried parts. Embrace the fullness of self. Embrace the beginnings to come. Embrace the unknown in which you have released, and you are new. He shows you now the center of the heart and asks you to recall one memory of a time that you would like to work with today that you are having trouble forgetting. And to allow yourself now to play the tape that has repeated against your highest good in this heart. As the flower opens, like a scrying mirror or a seer's water bowl. Where have you been working to trust again? And where has your resilience benefited you? And Marduk asks, where exactly did the pieces of you get lost? What did you stop trusting? What did you start fearing? Breathe through this. For even as we are going a bit over time, there is much to bring back. And Marduk invites you now to trust the process and take back that which was taken from you. Take back your power, your courage, your trust, your excitement, your peace, your well-being. And know that this is happening at the divine level. And through this scrying mirror at the center of the heart, which is your flower, the flower which is your heart, we can see that all of the sickly parts are changing, are healing, are either parting from the flower and floating upwards, or healing and growing again and blossoming and becoming new. As the memory begins to get foggy and blurry, and starts to skip and stop and is unable to be replayed over and over and over again. Eventually, the memory is unable to be replayed again at all. And all that is left is this flower gently moving with the currents of the ocean. Marduk now hands this flower back to you, and when your hands touch, there is electric static. And the flower comes back to you like a shock to the system. Being held in your hands now is the part of yourself, the joy, the happiness, the success, the growth that you have felt you have been unable to access. And the spirits and Marduk now invite you to accept it all. Allow the waters to simply clear the space where this flower is meant to rest. As you accept that this flower has been given back to you, that it is moving with the waters, that your joy will be returned to you, as you and the spirits together now place this heart back and feel it click into place. You are reminded that your feelings remember your entire story. So listen to your feelings, listen to your gut, and also forgive. Forgive your feelings, and forgive your heart. Forgive your memories. and forgive whatever you have done in order to survive. Great work, everyone. Great work. We breathe here and let ourselves shift consciousness to the heightened awareness of the full moon in Pisces. And as we move through this and into this new psychic knowing with our new hearts, self-awareness starts to become removed. Self-consciousness fades. There becomes no self, no sense of anything other than the awareness of our psychic vision, receiving signals from the universe in this deeply subtle and intuitive and emotional time. We are feeling everything about the physical world, allowing all heartache and worries to be vaporized, as we are instead lost in the sea of joy and beauty. Receiving, receiving, receiving. The full moon sinks down and is called upon our altar, fusing with us entirely as we continue to upgrade and receive all downloads from this full moon in Pisces, in this city, in this temple, made only for us. Nothing else exists except this grand sea of you, of your awareness, of your existence, and of your true and ultimate being. You are alive, and the sea is you, and is alive with you. Your consciousness is as vast as the sea is deep. And you receive now all final messages from the universe meant just for you in this full moon in Pisces ritual and ceremony. And now when I count down from 10, we will return back to this room, back to this time, counting down now. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Wonderful work, everyone. I'm going to stop the recording here.